Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mercury Retrograde Tarot. See, I'm already tripping over my words. Mercury Retrograde is happening late tonight in California, but it's basically already here. We are going to be using the Tarot del Fuego today, so appropriate because Mercury Retrograde is happening in the sign of Leo, a fire sign. I've already done a bridge. I love this deck. It's a little thick though, so I did the bridge off camera. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what is happening in each house during Mercury retrograde, because no sign gets away unscathed. Well, that's a little dramatic. I think Mercury retrograde is a great time for do-overs. If someone from your past gives you a call, definitely check in with them. It's a great time for closure. It's a great time to decide if you're going to start something up again. And so we're going to look at each house in the zodiac, because each house covers an area in our lives. And then also each house is where a sign lives. Each sign gets a house. And so then based on your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign, we'll take a deeper look at what you need to watch out for, or what you can kind of plan and build upon with this Mercury retrograde happening until August 12th. All right, so bottom of the deck is going to be just the general kind of underlying energy that everyone is feeling. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords. Tons of conflict, but almost like stuck in that conflict. Very appropriate for Mercury retrograde. The center of the horoscope spread is going to be yourself and what you are hoping to attain, hoping to achieve, that desire that you have. And really, okay, with Leo, what passion you want to spark with this Mercury retrograde. So kind of your goal. Oh, the Six of Pentacles. Generosity, being guided in the right direction. All right, so we're looking for generous guidance, and we're also looking to become more generous ourselves in these trying times. All right, so we have the first house. The first house is Aries house. It is also the house of personality and your waking life. This is where things often manifest. And then also like your personal style. Even though I don't say like, oh, don't do things during Mercury retrograde, but maybe hold off on the haircuts, the tattoos, because you can do things during Mercury retrograde, but as astrologer Anne Ortley says, expect for those things to change. So you don't really want to do anything. And it's okay, sign the contract, sign the lease. Oh no, you know what? Sign the mortgage, but don't sign the lease. Hold off on the lease as long as possible. Okay, so we have the Six of Swords. So we're going on a journey. I often think of Mercury retrograde kind of like Harry Potter, where we can't let the muggles get us down when they don't hear our communication or receive the information that we give them, even if it's super magical. All right, second house, the house of Taurus. It is the house of wealth and money and material possessions. The Hermit reversed. Okay, so again, kind of being more generous with ourselves and others, not really keeping to ourselves. This is kind of a time to explore who is worth your time and who is worth your energy and who is worth your resources, and where it's good to spend your money and where it's not good to spend your money. But you're not always going to be putting yourself first. All right. Third house. This is the house that is ruled by Gemini, thus ruled by Mercury. So third house things really come up every Mercury retrograde. Doesn't matter what sign it's in. let's see, it is the house of communication, it is the house of information, and this is why the communication gets jumbled during Mercury retrograde, because it's all happening in this third house, or it's all ruled by this third house. So we have the Five of Cups reversed. So speaking of being stuck in conflict, there has been, when it comes to our communication, our writing, the way we express ourselves, we feel like there's been doors that have closed, opportunities that have been lost. And see, can be a bright side of Mercury retrograde. We are starting to see opportunities that we hadn't seen before. New things that look bright and shiny and good. And that is happening. So even if the communication is getting jumbled in certain situations, as it will with Mercury retrograde, look for the opportunity in that miscommunication. Maybe it's putting you on a path that your normal everyday communication would not put you on. All right, fourth house, ruled by Cancer. And this is about home and family. So what's going on with that? We have the King of Pentacles, the bad boy. That's kind of funny that the what my friends and I like to call the bad boy of tarot is hanging out in the house of home and family. Interesting. Maybe that's bringing something up for you. I see it almost kind of like as leaving the roost and kind of in doing your own thing. Leo is very individualistic, and so maybe breaking free from home. Maybe some of you are leaving home for the first time, going off to college. All right, so now we have the sixth house. Oh, no, excuse me, the fifth house. Oh, see? Mercury retrograde. And you just catch yourself, and then you correct yourself, and it's fine. So we have fifth house. The fifth house is where Mercury retrograde is taking place. It is the house of creativity, life force, love affairs. So this is like the dating house. I say like first dates happen in the fifth house. So, I would say wait before you go on a first date if you can. If you can't wait, or the other person is planning the date, just see what messages this person, this date, this experience has for you. It might not be the love of your life, but it's actually a really good time if you're looking to get back out on the dating scene, if you're kind of looking for a rebound. This is a good time just to kind of like gather messages. Also, exes call and get back in touch during this time, so definitely expect that as well, really, with this Leo retrograde. It's hot. People are hot and bothered, and they're going to be calling you. All right. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. So really thinking about what satisfies you. Creatively, what satisfies your life force? This is a really good time if you're satisfied in all aspects of your life and you feel like your life force is just being totally manifested in this lifetime, expect for some blips. If there's something in your life, like most of us, I know this is me, where there's an aspect of your life that you're like, it could be better. I am not living my full life force. Use the force, Luke. I'm not using my total force in this aspect. This is a great time to explore how you can be satisfied. Pleasure leads to satisfaction. So how do you gain pleasure in a situation that is just not working for you? All right, sixth house. We're just going right up there. Sixth house is the house of Virgo, which is also ruled by Mercury. It is the house of health. It is the house of magicians and witches and your everyday activities. Isn't that interesting that everyday activities and magicians fall under the same house? I love that personally. We have the Fool. And aren't we all fools during Mercury retrograde in our everyday activities? We're kind of sauntering on. It's like, it's not really a hike. It's more of just a nice saunter because we're like checking out the scenery. We're meeting new people. We're trying new things. These things may not stick because it's Mercury retrograde, but we're dancing in the whimsy of it all. All right, so now we have 7th house, the house of relationships. So if the 5th house is the house of dating, the 7th house is the house of marriage. And we have the Ace of Swords. Oof, so there might be some conflict in our closest partnerships, and it might just be over a miscommunication. So be really open to that. It's also, but through this conflict, even stronger bonds will be created. So face the conflict, but know that it might not be like a huge mistake or a huge blunder on either one of your parts. It might just be, let's go back and I thought you said this. No, I said that. And just kind of being okay with having that deep conversation of clarification. Okay, 8th house, the house of sex. What could this be bringing us in Mercury retrograde? The 7 of Pentacles. Just have fun, have lots of sex. Also, during Mercury retrograde with the 7 of Pentacles, if you're waiting to have intimate time, behind the closed doors time with a certain someone, you need to sit on it and wait until Mercury retrograde is over. It's a good, get to know them better, kind of see how they act during retrogrades. It's always an interesting time to see the other side of someone's personality. If you're already in a steady relationship, and you're doing it on the regular, I would say try some new things. Get a little kinky. All right. This is why I love astrologers and astrology, because we talk about sex, oh yeah, it's just in the chart. No big deal. And people are just very open. Okay. So now we have the 9th house, the house of truth, the house of travel. If you make travel plans at this time, expect them to change. If you're traveling during this time, just be open to if there are delays, or you plan to go to one site and you actually end up going, something else catches your fancy, end up going there. Just go with the flow. Go where the fire guides you. All right. Oh, how lovely. We have the Knave of Wands beckoning us to go down the portal, which is retrograde time. This is also happening so close to the eclipse, and going on a journey that you wouldn't normally take. 10th house, house of career. 2 of Swords, it's time to make a decision. And retrograde time is a great time to play with this, because you can really, you have the visioning skills to kind of look at both options very clearly. Maybe for a while before the retrograde, you weren't able to see what your other option would look like. And now is a great time to kind of meditate, go on a nice vision quest, and take a look at what both of your options look like. Intuition is strong during this time, giving you more insight. But wait until after the 12th to actually make the decision. 11th house, the house of your friends, the house of your hopes and dreams. Often you share the same hopes and dreams as your friends, or sometimes we have those friends who, they're our friends for certain reasons. They're our friends because they've been there for us for a long time. They're loyal, but our hopes and dreams kind of differ. So kind of the contrast in that. The Hanged Man. You're hanging out, quite literally. Sort of wait, prepare for those hopes and dreams, but wait until after the 12th for a response. Now's kind of a good time to hang out with friends. Be really careful when talking about money and who's going to pay for what. If someone says something that's very self-centered, well, take a look at that, because maybe they're showing you a side of themselves that you kind of hadn't noticed before. Notice who is truly loyal to you. But yeah, hang out with friends, but kind of watch that communication space. It's a very interesting, and I mean, kind of a fun, it's almost like when you have like a good night and you get really drunk with your friends and you all say crazy things. That's just Mercury retrograde without the booze. But that can be fun. That can be a fun space to hang out with your friends, right? That's what friends are for, to kind of be there in that space with us. 12th house, the house of spirituality, intuition, things that we are afraid of, like Mercury retrograde. 2 of Wands reversed. So we need to sit with our passions. There is a choice of passion that we need to make, but we feel really stuck about. Don't make it until after the 12th. And this time is a great time to really sit with it. It has to do with our soul, our truth, our spirituality. So you just want to go towards what will make you feel spiritually fulfilled. You're afraid of this choice that you have to make. It's okay. You have time until the 12th. That's when you make it, or after the 12th. And you can even kind of wait until the fall, because then Mercury has to then travel out of its shadow, out of all of those spaces, all those degrees that it was retrograde. So you even have until the fall to make it. By the fall, you really want to be clear about what you're going to do. By October, end of October, Halloween, you need to know where you're going. All right, so now we're going to check out the zodiac signs. I'm going to leave our 9 of Swords right here because that is the overall vibe that we are getting. Okay, so first house, that 6 of Swords, that journey really represents the Leos, because that is where Mercury retrograde is taking place. So Leos, you're going on a journey. Happy birthday to you. It doesn't have to be like travel plans, but it might be because it's your birthday. So enjoy, but expect to find some things along the road that you were not preparing for. All right, and then with Mercury, we'll do a quick card, and it keeps on coming up reversed, Leo. Oh, okay, the 5 of Pentacles reversed. This is going to be a time where you actually find abundance, where you actually feel like you're part of the group. And so where you find those warm fuzzies during your birthday time, you know, this is your solar return as well. You want to really try and replicate that as the retrograde leaves after the 12th. So abundance is coming. Happy birthday, Leo. All right, Virgo. Virgo, this is really affecting your 2nd house. Again, wealth, resources, money. So watch your money. Maybe kind of prepare, think about how you want to change the way you look at your money. And we have the 9 of Cups reversed. So really think about your resources. And then after Mercury retrograde is over, I want you to make a wish about your deepest desire. And Virgo, it's okay. It can be very materialistic. I think the more materialistic this wish is, the better. I know often you're of service to others. You're so giving. Be a little selfish. But think about it now, and then, because you're in this like space of, it's a different space that you're usually not in, and then make the wish come. Do like a nice Mercury retrograde is over ceremony. Again, you are the magician. Cast a spell for what you want to manifest come fall. All right, 3rd house, Libra. Communication, communication, communication. Knight of Pentacles. You are using your emotional intuition to see those new opportunities that you thought were lost, that were not available to you. So really plan and then go for it after the 12th. King of Pentacles for Scorpio. Of course, that is why. So maybe you're making a break from tradition. That's not new for you, Scorpio. You're really good at that. But maybe you're doing it in a different way during this retrograde time. Oh, and then we have the moon. And it's the the moon rules the fourth house. Your intuition is so high right now. It is like almost like too much. Take lots of naps, but also it is your job to really listen to all of the channeled information that you are getting. The muggles around you might not be making any sense, but the voices from the cosmos are loud and clear. So just listen in. All right. So then we have Sagittarius for the fifth house. Oh. The fifth house of dating and love, and the Three of Pentacles reverse. So you are breaking free. You're breaking free from something during the retrograde, but it's actually something that you're going to return to. Whether it's you're taking a break with someone you've been dating, you have to separate for a while. You're taking a break from a creative passion, but you're going to return to it, or you're approaching it in a new way. Or you're just breaking free from a team, a group, and you're like, fuck you all, I am so over it. Now is actually a good time to prepare. If you want it to be like breakaway forever, you are preparing now, and you're kind of leaving hints for people that it's going to happen after the retrograde. If it's more like you want to break away and then come back, do it before the 12th. All right. Then we have that Fool for the sixth house for Capricorn. Capricorn, it's very important for you to learn to be the fool now and again, to experience things in a carefree manner. So unlike you, so a great time to do this is the retrograde. All right. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Oh, this is so interesting because it's almost like you're fighting for your free time, and you're fighting for putting yourself first, and you're fighting for a day-to-day life that you would actually prefer. And the way you're going to get to that space of contentment is by being the fool, by living in that space of whimsy, by taking it as things go, and not by, letting people pile the responsibility onto you. All right, Ace of Swords for Aquarius. Oh, and you love that, Aquarius. And we have, nice, the Five of Swords. Some people don't like this card. I love this card. You are letting go of the past. So when those exes call, when those old acquaintances call, this is when you say, hey, what's up? And they say their words. And then very nicely, Aquarius, because maybe you want to hurt their feelings. If you want to hurt their feelings, oh God, am I just saying that? Yeah, now is the time, to kind of be like, yeah, you really fucked me over. No, thank you. Let's not talk. Or you just say, you know what? You know what's even better? Living well is the best revenge. So just be like, I've moved on. Thank you for getting in touch. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. And to each their own. Thanks for this closure. I appreciate it. Goodbye. So you're putting closure on the relationships that no longer work for you. It doesn't even have to be a marriage. It can be a boss. It can be a coworker. It can be your lawyer. Anyone that you talk face to face. It can be your dentist. If you need to go to a new dentist, now's the time. Tell your old dentist, it's been cool, but I gotta go. All right, 8th house of sex for Pisces. So we're trying different things. If, you have fallen madly in love with someone, but you're kind of holding off because Pisces, you love to get caught in your emotions and be the romantic. And so you're going to wait and see how this person acts during the retrograde before you bow, chicka, bow, wow. Okay, so we have, oh, lovely, the Seven of Swords. Because we had the Seven of Wands, and now we have with your friends, the Capricorns. And so now you're having the Seven of Swords. Let's see here, Pisces. So 2 sevens. This is a very lucky time for you. Also, you're trying to make a quick getaway from somewhere. Are you trying to retreat to the bedroom? Are you where are you trying to escape from? See, this is a thing. Time to escape, and then you can enjoy things behind closed doors, take comfort in your secrets after the retrograde. This is a great time to run for it. All right. You know, and you can be a lion about it, but when you say, I love this because Lion, Leo, that's where the retrograde is happening. But I don't say roar about it. I just kind of say be your Pisces self and slip into the night. Because you can also kind of get emotional. Like, no, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off too. I fucking hate you. There might be a temptation to do that, and the situation may call for it. But I say kind of more like be a lion on the prowl. We always think of lions as being loud, but they also can be very sneaky and very quiet and then pounce. All right. So then we have Aries. You're going on that journey for the 9th house, following your truth. And we also have the 10 of Wands reversed. So you're also letting go of some responsibility, of the overwhelm, because you're going to feel really overwhelmed. So this is a great time to really focus in on what is true. Nothing else. Let all the other noise fall. Go into the cave where it's an echo chamber. And when you go into the cave, just see what noise lets go. And then focus on the light. 10 of Swords for Taurus. So Taurus, you're making a decision about your destiny, about your career. You're thinking about it, and then you're going to make the final decision because you like things to be steady and stable come the 13th. Let's give it a day. So, you know, Mercury goes direct on the 12th, but let's wait until the 13th. Oh, and I wish I knew what the aspects were. I'll go check that in a second. Okay. Ace of Wands reversed, because if you make the decision before retrograde is over, you might not get quite what you want. It might be something a little bit different. So be open to that. Be open to the different options. But really right now, think about what is silencing your flame, what is putting your flame out, and go towards what will light your flame up once retrograde is over. And let me check when we want to be making these decisions. Be right back. Checking my handy dandy. Let's see, we have the lion for Leo. Okay, so do we want to be making decisions on the 12th or the 13th? So let's see here. Oh goodness, we want to be making them on the 18th, guys. All right, I'm so glad I checked this. Mercury stations direct. Oh, it's not going to focus. On the 18th. Moon goes into Sagittarius. Okay, so yeah, you know what? We want to do it. I would say if you want it to be adventurous and fun, make a decision on the 18th. If you want it to stick and be steady, you want to make that decision on the 21st. Okay. So we've got that settled. So now we're going to go to, where were we? Who was doing Taurus? It's Ace of Wands reversed. So Gemini, we have you being the hanged man, and that's often how Mercury retrograde feels for you, because you want to dart around from one place to another, and retrograde literally leaves you hanging, feeling like, what just happened? I can't express myself the way I can. People are not understanding me, so we can't get stuff done, and it's making me crazy. And so this is a great time to go inward, to stand still, meditate, and really think about your own thoughts. And we have the King of Wands reversed. So yeah, you're going to feel like your fire's been put out. But that's okay, because it gives you a chance. This is the other bad boy of tarot. It gives you a chance to kind of see what everyone else feels like when you're around them, because you're going a mile a minute, and when your ruling planet is going backwards, you're like, oh, this is how everyone else feels around me. I get it. And then this is where you scheme and you plan based on how you're feeling to then get what you want when everything's back to normal and you're back at running, 100 miles an hour. But you realize the points where you need to slow down to truly get what you want, to get those hopes and desires met. All right, finally we have Cancer. Thank you for waiting, Cancer. And with those Two of Wands, where you're making a spiritual decision, or you're going towards your spirituality and away from your fear. A decision you'll be making, I would say, on the 18th with that Sagittarius moon. So like the night of the 18th. Oh, we have the Priestess. You're going to make the right decision, so don't sweat it. But you just need to wait until after the retrograde is over. Your intuition, Cancer, because we had the solar eclipse in Cancer earlier this month. Your intuition is so high right now. Just kind of almost like live in that spiritual realm. It's okay if you feel like you're floating. And you're going to, enjoy this psychic time. And then after the retrograde is over, you'll just, your gut, your soul, your spiritual guides, you'll all know what direction you need to go in. How nice. So I say this is a retrograde for great change. Sometimes with retrogrades, things just sit still, but I think great change is afoot, everyone. Good job.